A Squawk Asia new survey shows nearly 1 in 5 business travelers say that they feel they have been denied work trips, but it has nothing to do with issues like cost cutting or lack of seniority. CNBC's travel editor Monica Petrelli has the details. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Martin. Yeah, so this is according to a new survey by S&P Concur. They interviewed about nearly 4,000 business travelers around the globe, and they found that people that felt that their work trip was the most affected by their accents were right here in Asia Pacific. Now, if you find this surprising, the researchers that we spoke to for a two-part report said really it isn't. They said the studies consistently show that people who speak with non-native English accents are viewed as being less competent, less trustworthy, even less intelligent. They're also less likely to be hired and promoted. Now, this is due to a so-called accent hierarchy that exists in the corporate world. Now, at the top of this hierarchy, so-called received pronunciation, otherwise known as the Queen's English, that's spoken by some in the United Kingdom. Now, these people, they're actually viewed as being more intelligent, even more attractive because of the way that they speak. Now, we spoke to one she was a manager at a major tech company here in Asia Pacific. She said she was on a team that did evaluate and had an internal rating system based on partly people's accents. But she said this was because they were picking speakers that would go to conferences, and they wanted to make sure they were understood. However, research shows that this line between understanding an accent and having a preference or a bias against it is rather thin. A 2022 study showed that hiring managers consistently preferred people that spoke with accents that were common to that area, even when others were perfectly capable of being understood. And what's more is that a lot of times, I understand, is that managers may not even know that they even have this feeling. They will feel it more, and they'll couch it under the terms of maybe presentation skills or lacking professional ability.
So it's incumbent on those managers to do something about that, because accent bias is exactly that. It's bias and it's wrong. And if you are speaking to a global audience, whether it's a client meeting or a conference overseas, it's down to being an effective communicator. It's got nothing to do with accent. It's all about perceptions.
Right, exactly. And so that's why you're seeing there's really two schools of thought about what to do about this issue. Some people are saying, well, if the bias is coming out of the businesses, then the burden should be on the businesses to deal with this. So we are seeing something called accent bias training. I spoke to somebody here in Singapore who's doing this. She said it's really in its infancy right now. Not many companies are aware of it. She said one exception is NASA. But some workers say, look, I can sit around and wait for my business to do this, but they may never. And so they're taking matters into their own hands and doing something called accent reduction training. This is controversial, though, because by reducing your accent, you're in effect learning somebody else's, because we all speak with an accent.
Exactly. And can I say another thing? The people who are speaking a second language, whether it's German, whether it's Dutch, whether it's Japanese or Chinese, they are gold dust. They are an asset, not a liability. And for any hiring manager or any manager to think otherwise is really hasn't got his or her head screwed on, quite frankly, because whether it's accents in your second language, all of that can be corrected. Primarily, like I said, those people are assets because they are speaking a second language, which is incredibly important in this globalized environment.
You're right. And one of the issues that they have with the training that they're bringing into businesses is having native English speakers speak in a language that is not their own, listening to it back so they can develop some sort of empathy for their colleagues that are conducting all or most of their work in a language that's not their mother tongue. This is not easy.
Great story, Monica. Thank you very much indeed. There are a lot of sensitivities surrounding this issue, so thank you for tackling a very important story. Monica Petrelli there. Coming up, one fund manager is providing long-term investment planning and is setting its eyes on educating younger investors. We will hear more about their efforts on teaching children financial literacy with our next guest. Roberto Ancajas of Ford Asset Management joins us in 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Emily Tan, and thanks for watching CNBC. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.